Have you been looking to take your life to that next level? To live the life that lights you up inside? Well, this is the place to be. My name's Rachel Chamley. I'm a mindset and manifesting coach, and this is my Manifesting Straight Talk podcast. So hi everyone, welcome to this week's podcast episode. I'm so excited to be joined by Edyta Satchell, who is the owner of renown.com, and she's a travel wellness coach. And if you haven't listened to the bio, go and check it out. I've done a recording to showcase what she does because she's incredible. But hi Edyta, thank you for joining me.
Rachel, it's so wonderful to be here with you. I'm super excited when you told me about that. And I was like, oh my God, I really want to do it, you know what I mean? And meet with you here and the people who are listening.
Yeah, so for anybody who's been following me lately, they know that I went to New York and I met some incredible people. And Edyta is one of those amazing business women that I met on that tour, in a sense. So Edyta, obviously you're a travel wellness coach, but you do so much. Do you want to share with the audience a bit about what your business is and what you've been doing?
Yes, of course. But Rachel, you're right. The event in New York was actually very good, right? A lot of good memories, of course, and pictures, of course, and the cocktail party that we attended both, right? And people we met. I know. So
another level, isn't it? It's brilliant.
Really, really, really good. Very nice people. But yes, you are right. I do a lot. And that's why, I travel to places like New York too. I live in Washington, D.C., in the Washington, D.C. area, and to be specific, in Arlington, Virginia, in the U.S. And what I do a couple of things. One of them, I am, like you said, like you mentioned, I'm a travel wellness coach, and in a little bit different definition than what people actually think as travel wellness.
Yeah.
And the second thing which I do is I help corporations to create and implement employee wellness programs. So those are the two main areas I'm focused on.
Yeah, and I love that, because as we started speaking, obviously I have my holistic side to me, that where I do all the coaching and the empowerment coaching, use your intuition, but then I have my corporate side that I do my leadership coaching. So I love that you blend the two as well, and bring both to everything you do as well. I think that is so important.
Yes, I agree, because you know what, I personally believe, and I know you do too, in a holistic approach to wellness, health, right? I mean, we saw so much. What we see today is like everything is fragmented, but it's really, it's all about the holistic approach.
Yeah, I definitely bring that into my coaching in the leadership world, because it's needed. It's So tell me about how you got into travel wellness and your employee wellness programs that you do.
So one of the things, where I'm proud of or not, right, is, let me tell you, I spent 20 years in corporate America. So where I'm from, right? Based on my accent, right? You know where I'm from. So I'm from Poland. For those of you who have cannot figure out the accent, I'm from Poland originally, but I spent 20 years in America, in the United States. Corporate America, 20 years there. And I have to tell you, I spent 3 years in England too. And I really enjoyed that time as well. I lived there too, in London to be precise.
Nice.
Which was really, really nice. It was before Poland invaded England and Ireland, right? In 2004. So I was the lucky one. I was there before that invasion, right? I always said that we invaded, invaded you guys. So anyway.
Yeah, but you were welcome. It was all good.
It was before that. And 20 years in corporate America, but specifically in the travel industry. So my background, my degree, my master's, this is all travel. So if you ask me like where to book your trip and it's cheaper and whatever, I will tell you where to do it. How to do it, I will tell you too, right? Because I get those questions all the time. But the thing is, working in the travel industry, I thought I knew how to travel, but I will tell you something, I did not. I was frequently getting sick. I was not myself. I felt tired. I was puffy, that feeling of
Yeah.
puffiness. I was bloated. My stomach was, sometimes was feeling like it was supposed to explode. I was not looking great. And when you travel in business, you have to look amazing, right?
Yeah.
You look nice, because it's not only about you, but also the company you work for, right? You
Mhm.
represent an employer, a company, a business. But I wasn't feeling my very best. And I was always stressed out. Like I said, I was getting sick. I was tired. I was exhausted. I didn't have that emotional wellness. And I worked for 5 companies in the United States, or let's say American companies. One, of course, was a global one in England, right? Great Britain, and also an American company with the location in London. That's where I worked for. But the
Yeah.
thing is, so overall 5 companies, none of the companies had a holistic approach to employee wellness, well-being. We had those like a wellness, like physical wellness, but it was all about access to the gym,
Yeah.
and financial wellness, but it was all about that retirement plan and nothing
Mm.
else. And when I was getting sick, I was unhappy, and I said, there must be a better day. There must be a better way. There must be a better, thing to do, or in a better way to do it. And during my time at corporate America, I actually got certified as a health coach
Wow.
and started seeing clients because I knew I understood them. I knew how that felt. And based on that, I created my holistic wellness programs, corporate wellness programs for employees. So I created something which is called 10 dimensions of wellness. Because one dimension, like emotional wellness, is not enough, because everything is connected. And I didn't know that at that time when I was getting sick. Now I'm showing to corporations that the holistic approach is the way to go, because it's all about results. It's all about being successful, doing it in the right way, not
Mm.
just, have it fragmented again. And to tell you the truth, people actually like it a lot. And as you can imagine, one of my dimensions is actually travel wellness. And travel awareness, Rachel, everybody's asking me like, oh, Dita, what do you do? Do you tell people where to go on vacation, like on a spa resort, to a spa resort, which one to select? And I always laugh because they also sometimes suggest a yoga retreat, right? Do you organize yoga retreats? And I tell them, no, I don't, because that's the definition that people have in their head about the travel wellness. And
Yeah.
I created a totally new definition, which is all about looking and feeling your best before, during, and after travel. So when you go to that yoga retreat, my job is to tell you how to look and feel, what to do to look and feel your best before the yoga retreat, during the yoga retreat, and of course, when you come home, right? So you are healthy and well, and you are not exhausted, and you need a vacation from vacation, right?
Yeah, and it's so true. With us traveling to New York, obviously it was a long flight for me. We were going to a
Mm-hmm.
cocktail mixer. I was thinking I want to be looking my best, but I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking getting there, it's a long flight. You can often,
Mm-hmm.
feel bloated, you can have swelling.
Mm-hmm.
And all of
Mm-hmm.
this was going through my head, especially with, what shoes to wear to prevent
Mm-hmm.
all of that happening, and, how to really look your best when you're there, because it's something you don't always think about. But when you're going on holiday, you spend so much time getting ready for it, getting your body ready. And then sometimes you do end up there and you are bloated and feeling, not so good from the flight. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, I think it's so needed that people just don't think of.
So I really love the fact that you mentioned actually your wardrobe. This is, I created online courses for all the travelers who want to travel. I call them go with the glow.
I love
You want
that.
to go with the glow, right? Or travel with the
Yeah.
glow. So I talk about the fact that when we are going somewhere, we know everything, and how to plan your wardrobe. So day one, you are going to wear high heels, maybe pretty dress. The next day you are going to wear maybe jeans or flats or whatever it is, right? And the third day you have something else. You know exactly, right, what you are wearing.
Yeah.
But do you know exactly how to take care of your health and wellness and beauty? And what kind of routine should you have there, like before, during, and after travel? And before travel is equally important as during, and of course as after as well. So people just
Yeah.
don't even think about that, what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, I mean, especially for me, because I live in the north of England, our water is so soft. And I notice even traveling to the south of England, how it dries up my skin, how everything changes. And because you're traveling, I don't feel you take the same products as you would have at home. So I suppose you cover all this type of stuff in your courses, do you?
That's exactly right. Because what is it all about, that travel wellness in my definition? So imagine that. I will give an example. I always give the same example because it's easier for people, I hope, to realize. So I am a frequent traveler. You, Rachel, are a frequent traveler, right?
Yeah.
My skin type is oily. So when I go to a beauty salon, when I go to a spa salon, when I go to a beauty store to buy a beauty product, everyone is telling me, Miss, your skin is oily. This is the product you should be using now. So let me show you that one product for you to use one. And the purpose of that product is to avoid or eliminate the shininess, or however you say it, right? So your skin is not so shiny, right? So you are sort of, in a way, drying your skin, so there is no shine and other things, right? Sebum is not produced as much as it should be, and so on, right? And this is all fine. I'm at home, I'm in that particular climate, and so on. But when I volunteer with information like, hey, 2 weeks from now, I'm going to India, I'm going to Dubai, I'm going to England, there is silence. No one knows what to do with this information. At least beauty salons, spa salons, beauty stores should be excited for me. Those people who work there, I'll say, oh my God, that's amazing. Even if sometimes they don't know where Australia is. Trust me, that happens, right? But what's happening is they should be telling me, did you know that in that new climate in Australia, in Poland, when I go home, in England, the climate is totally different. So they should at least tell me things such as, hey, in India, the climate will be super dry. So with your oily skin, when you are using a product that the job of the product is to dry your skin, let's make it, simple, right? When you go to a climate which is already drying your skin and you are using a product that is drying your skin, it will be a total disaster for your skin. You will have a flaky skin, dull looking skin, you will not like it. It may be, you will have that feeling of itching, burning, and so on. But and then they should say, this is the product you should be using, right? So this is what I teach in my courses, how to take care of your skin, what to ask for if you go and shop for beauty products, what to pay attention to, most importantly, how to create your own beauty and wellness routine when you travel, which depends on your age, on your sex, on your current climate where you live in, the temperature, right? Access to, I don't know, water, river, oceans, all of this creates a climate for you, environment, right? The weather, the temperatures, and then how does it compare to the new environment in that new geographical locations, the place you go to, what's the climate there? Also, I advise people on like what to pack, what not to pack, how to be emotionally well when you travel, what to eat, what not to eat, and especially on the plane. I talk about the environment on the plane. Why are we bloated? Why are we dehydrated? And remember our party from New York when we were talking to those TV producers, right?
Yeah.
I was laughing because let me tell you that quick story there. So there are two ladies, producers from one of the, important TV stations in the US, right? Whatever, the important one. And the thing is, they're just sitting there and, laughing. And they said, what do you do with it? And I said, well, when I tell you what I do, you will laugh. And she was like, no, we are not going to laugh. I said, I'm sure you will. So they were like quiet and, they changed, like stop laughing. And I said, all right, okay. So I tell people on TV, why is it that they fart on the plane? They were laughing. I'm telling you, they were laughing and so on. It's like, is this true? I said, yeah, of course. It's like, what do you mean? I said, well, I talk about wellness, beauty, travel, during travel, and how to take care of your beauty, health, body, emotions when you are on the plane as well, and the environment on the plane. Trust me, I do talk about why is that you pass gas on the plane, why do you have a bad breath when you travel. I talk about the ugly stuff, right? No one wants to talk about, and for whatever reasons TV people want to listen, and I get invited to speak on TV and as an expert many times. But that's what's very interesting, because we talk about the beautiful things, but there are so many things that we don't like, right? And we just don't know what to do about them.
And you touched on there, like, so many TV experiences, and to go from working for a corporate company and training as a health coach, how do you then take that to running your own business in that, and all these TV appearances that I'm going to be putting in all the show notes so you can check out where Edyta has been, because there's plenty. But how does that happen?
Well, it wasn't easy. I mean, to make a decision to move from, spending your entire life in the corporate environment, corporate work, when there is sort of a job security and so on, but also a lot of frustration and unhappiness. It was hard to make the decision. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
And then so what I did start doing this when I was still employed, so that to make the transition a little bit easier. It was still hard. And then once the transition happened, then I felt, because when I was working in corporate America, I was like, I don't have time for my own business. I had a very, very high, very good quality work ethic. Was very, if I'm working for the company, that's what they're paying me. I'm working for them. I'm not doing anything else, right? So I did my own private stuff after hours, which was, I didn't have a lot of time. Weekends, right? I have family as well. So then once I transitioned completely, I was like, oh my God, now I have all the time to work on my business, right?
Yeah.
But it's a lot of determination. It's a lot of connections, knowing people. Initially, it's hard, and I don't want to sugarcoat you. As you may know, you can imagine, I thought I knew people, turned out I didn't. Maybe I had the wrong connections, but it's all about learning how to do it. If you think you don't know anybody, it means, you have to think twice and as hard as you are, because you know a lot of people, right? So look at the connections that you have. Look at the people and get, a lot of clients I get is through the word of mouth, of course, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. My husband always like, you're going out for another dinner, and then I come back from the dinner and said, look, this is another client. They are going to sign up another thing. It's like, oh, and then he's like, okay, you can go more often for your dinners or something, right?
That's the big shift, isn't it? It's seeing those things as connecting, and it's so different. It's a different mindset to how people see a normal job should be. And I think people see business should be like that. And even though it is hard and you do work and you do put everything into it, it's still a nicer way of doing business than corporate, in a sense.
It is. I agree with you, Rachel. The thing is, there are always, great moments and not so great moments, right? But this is wherever you are in your corporate, in the corporate world, it's the same thing. But if you ask me, will I ever go back? I will tell you no. No. And because I love it. I love that freedom. I worked all the time, right? At 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 6 in the morning, also at 6 p.m., 7 a.m., 9 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m., and so on. And I worked for someone else. Now I do that. Sometimes if I have to, I do it too. Not as frequently as I used to do it, only when it's really, really important. But then I know I'm doing this for me, for my family.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I've never told you that probably, but the reason why I left corporate America is because I wanted to go on vacation 4 times a year.
Oh.
This is one of those reasons. Yes, I wanted to be able to go on vacation 4 times a year, and now I'm doing 3 times a year.
Amazing.
That makes a difference for me. Yes.
Yeah, and it's so true, because them things that you take for granted, that actually, the fact that you don't have to plan your leave and how much time you can take. Obviously you work around yourself and your business and your family, and you have that freedom to do that. But you touched on a point there, it's all about them connections. And for me, I've found that as the biggest shift, looking at the difference between the corporate world and the entrepreneurial world. The entrepreneurial world is very much about collaboration, connection, and it isn't as it's not there's only one seat at the table. It's that there's enough for everyone. If you're around the right people, the right connections, there's more than enough to help you boost and also, you know, bring everybody with you. It's a different vibration completely.
That's
Have you
exactly
found that?
right. That's exactly, I agree with you. One thing which I don't know if you noticed it too is, let's be honest, in the corporate work, you work with people you don't like.
Yeah.
I remember one of the president of the companies I worked for, he said, this is just the only company who actually created or followed, let's say, there is in America an event called Bring Your Kids to Work Day. And just one, let's say, company, let's say, observed it. They did an amazing, you know, day for the kids. My daughter was also participating, right? So I used to that. And that guy said, that guy, meaning the CEO of the company, he said, when he welcomed the kids, he said, now you can see where your parents are working, where they are spending so many hours. Many times they have to work with people they don't like. And you know what, that made me wonder. And this guy was actually, it was true. That's the truth. We used to work with people who we didn't like many times, right? So I made the decision in my life, like many decisions we have to make, is I'm working with people who I want to work with, who I enjoy working with, and even at the cost of not signing a contract with someone, that's totally okay with me too. I'm being honest with you, Rachel. I prefer to lose money, not to make money, let's say, than work with someone I don't want to work or don't enjoy working with. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's my feeling. And when I tell people this, they look at me strangely. But you know what? I know my value. I know my stuff.
No, a big part of what I teach is about abundance, and you know, not all money is good money. So if you're accepting the bad money, it's an exchange of your energy. So I am totally with you on that. Do not accept, you know, them contracts that feel off. They working with people who have crazy, you know, things that they want you to achieve in that sense, you know, that doesn't feel in alignment, then I would say no.
I like that. That's exactly how I feel too. There has to be the alignment. There has to be the joy and happiness. And you know what, that feeling of, you know, helping each other. I like that. And of course, if I don't have that feeling, if I see something, I just don't want to. I don't work with those people. I really don't. I said it to someone recently. She looked at me. It's like I was crazy. But you know what? I believe in this, and I say it with proud. And that's what it is.
No, I'm totally with you. I mean, it's abundance is a huge part of what I teach in my programs, and that's exactly an abundant mindset. And you know, that takes time to build as well, because we're not taught that. But I think listening to the principles and the, you know, the values that you've built up over your time as an entrepreneur, you can see that shining out of you as well. I think that is where your energy sings. So it definitely will attract a lot of people to you.
Yes, and I hope it will. What's the opposite of attracting?
Repel.
Okay, repel, push away, or whatever it is, scare, right? The people who you don't want to work with.
I'm too nice, keep away.
Yes, I don't want to work with people who are not nice. I want to work, you know, to have that amazing environment and so on and so on. And I hear it from my colleague in the industry too. They say, Edyta, there are clients I love, and they are clients I'm just praying for the contract to end.
Yeah. So you have been building up Fennell over this time, and you have loads of amazing programs, which I will put all the details in. But what's in the future? What's coming, or where do you see everything going now?
Yes, I recently created online programs for frequent travelers, so which is called Go with the Glow. Go with a glow, right? My latest book is Beauty and the Travel Beast, because I believe the travel is a beast, right? When you take a closer look at that. So this is what I'm building on, and that's important to me, to bring people content value that supports them in everyday life and everything what they do. So this is my main focus, but I also created courses for spa salons, because what that means is really, when I work with frequent travelers, I tell them what kind of services to book before, during, after travel at a beauty salon, spa salon, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, I want to support travelers by teaching spa salon owners how to cater to travelers and of course make more money, right? We it's all about generating that positive financial and creating positive financial wellness, financial well-being, and attracting the money in our life as well. So I'm supporting travelers, but also on the other hand, spa salons and helping spa salons support travelers. And it's important. And of course, whether you are a business traveler working for corporations or you're going on vacation once a year, equally important, your health is just one, right? There is no such thing you will go and pick up your next level of health and wellness of the shelf.
Well, so many people go to the spa before going on holiday. They go and get the nails done, they get the lashes done, but they don't think about, like you were talking about, being trained on skincare or that type of thing. And really, would the beauticians know about the different climates? So when you were thinking that, I was thinking that's a lot of information, but yeah, to be able to train people on that, that's incredible.
That's exactly right. And you know what? I don't know how you feel, but probably similar way. All of us create programs based on our own needs, right? We are our own clients first.
Yeah.
So when I traveled, when I went to those beauty salons, when I went to beauty stores, like when I said, look, when I heard that, Miss, your skin is oily, this is the product. And when I told them, well, I'm going to India in 2 weeks, and there was silence, I was frustrated. I needed help and they just didn't know how to help me, right?
Yeah.
So out of my little own frustration, I created those programs to help people, spa salon owners, managers, beauticians, to help people like me, which is meaning, a frequent traveler.
No, I love that. And I'm already thinking about, my own salon that I go to, and I'm thinking I need to hook you guys up because, yeah, definitely.
Of course. This is funny, yes, but you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So any words of wisdom for anybody? Because, we've talked about, you had this idea, you were your own client when you started the holistic wellness coaching, and you did it because you were in that space where you needed something different. So any advice to anybody thinking of making a change or creating something in their life that, gets them out of a situation that, that doesn't feel the best because you weren't in the best place and you made a positive change?
I love the question. The piece of advice that I can give is, as they say, trust the process or trust the universe. Think about universe as your business partner or your life partner, right? Something that things happen for a reason. Once you believe in this and follow things that are happening in life for you and believe and trust that they're happening for you in a good way, even if you think it was a failure, even if you think that you did something that wasn't right or good for you, it was actually it was right for you and it was good for you. So if many times people think like, oh, they lost a job, now what? It's not, it happened, it was supposed to happen so you can get a better job somewhere else and be happier. Although the process through, searching for a job may be feeling painful, but you were supposed to go through that experience too. And again, some people may think she's a crazy lady, but
they're listening to this podcast, they know they know how crazy I am about manifesting in the universe.
So. That's exactly right. So you know what I mean, right? And that's why we understand each other so well, Rachel. Yeah. Right.
But you just sum that up perfectly. It's like every experience is trusting that it's for something better. And even if it is painful at the time and you feel like it's not something that you wanted, ultimately it's something you needed, and it's just leading you to somewhere that is going to be so much better than where you were. So it is that trust, isn't it, that there's something to learn.
That's correct. And whether when we meet people, we met someone, there was a reason why we met someone or bumped into someone, because we were supposed to learn something from that person. And Rachel, I know we have to go. It's almost the end, but I will give you one other thing, because I do it when I do the TV interviews. The TV interviews are about health, wellness, and travel, and so on and so on. They always ask me, like, is there anything you want to add, right? So one thing for people who travel, and now we're into that season of, frequent travel, summer travel, and so on. Because I wouldn't be the travel wellness expert if I didn't say it. I have to say it. Always, always, always buy a travel insurance. Do you know what I mean? And people still don't do it. And read the how do you say, fine print?
Yeah.
Yes, read the fine print. And again, the life and think is one thing, but also as when it comes to travel and travel wellness, always buy a travel insurance, always buy a travel insurance. And there are two things. Either you opt in when you buy a travel insurance, whenever you buy a flight, hotel stay, or whatever it is, car rental, or you have already travel insurance included in your credit card. So check that. But the other thing is, which I personally love, is an umbrella travel insurance, which covers you throughout the entire year for every single trip you take. And I'll give you an example. For the three of us, my husband, my daughter, myself, I paid $777. I don't know why that price, $777 for the entire year for the three of us. Every single trip international we'll take, that was the price. Whereas when we went on vacation last December, so I was buying it before our vacation last December because I wanted to have the insurance for our vacation. Yeah. When I wanted to book it through a tour operator, that's insurance just for this trip was $300.
Wow.
So it's a lot, and it saves you, if you are traveling frequently, it will save you so much money. So this is one of the tips which I frequently talk about on TV and whenever I do presentations when it comes to travel. So again, I wouldn't be myself if I wouldn't be a good travel, wellness person if I didn't tell you about this one. So keep telling people, buy the travel insurance. It's about that emotional wellness, right? As well, when you travel. So you want to have that peace of mind. This one definitely will give you that peace of mind.
Yeah. And we were talking, I used to work in the bank, and I used to be on the other side of it where people hadn't took insurance and people hadn't, got themselves covered, and they would come in and it wasn't a nice place to be afterwards. So I would be trying to promote things like that beforehand, but people want to buy a physical thing sometimes, and protection is the last thing they think of. But I'm with you, Edyta, it is so important, and it just gives you that peace of mind and stress-free. So
that's right. You want to enjoy your vacation.
Yeah, definitely. And especially now these days with everything happening, you make sure that you're covered with everything. And I think it's potentially opened people up to being a bit more aware of things like that. So
yes, for sure.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I could literally talk to you all day, but you've shared some amazing tips and, shared so much about your business. So I will be putting all of the details in the notes of how to get in touch with Edyta, how to, get her programs, get her book. Everything will be in the show notes. Do you want to add anything on how people should connect with you as well?
Just follow me on social media, which is Edyta Satchell, which is my first name, my last name. Look at Finelle, Finelle. You will find that website easily. And I would love to stay in touch. Yes, we want more friends. We want to be able to help more people, of course, definitely.
Amazing. So I will definitely have you back on the podcast in the future and see what's been happening. But thank you so much. You've been amazing.
Thank you, Rachel, very much for having me. I had an amazing time talking to you.
Catch you soon.
Thanks.
Wow, I had the best time talking to Edyta. She is incredible, and she has given us so many tips and so many hints. And if you want to learn more, or you want to download her ebook, or you want to do one of her courses, or hear just more about what she does and follow her on social media, all of the links are in the show notes. So please go and check her out. Have a look at what she does. Have a look at her book. Read more about her. She is inspirational, and the niche she is working in is so needed. We all need beauty travel tips. We all need to know how to look best when we go on our holidays and when we travel around, and just generally we want to feel good. So make sure you are going and checking out all that she has to offer, and I will catch you next week.